Now, SA Tourism had estimated that the Netball World Cup being held in Cape Town will bring in 68 million rand to the economy. Springbok rugby captain Siya Kolisi was named the new worldwide ambassador for SA Tourism on Thursday. Kolisi stated that every South African's responsibility is to inspire other South Africans, since this is how people from other countries will be encouraged to visit. To discuss the agency's strategy and opportunities for sports tourism, we're joined now by Thandiwe Mathibela from SA Tourism. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for your time. What an exciting way to usher in Tourism Month. The sports are right at our doorstep with the Netball World Cup in Cape Town. And Siya Kolisi, of course, the new worldwide ambassador for SA Tourism.
Thank you so much, and good morning to all the viewers. It's just excitement all around. Siya Kolisi is our global advocate. That's how we would like to refer to him. And we were actually with him last night at the netball because he decided he wants to come support his captain, Bongiwe Msomi. He makes reference to her as his captain because she and her team were obviously playing yesterday against Tonga. So Siya Kolisi is the perfect candidate for us to be our global advocate, because not only is he passionate about his country, but he's also very passionate about sports generally.
Of course, with the Netball World Cup come some projections. You're hoping to bring in 68 million rand to the economy. We saw the massive city of Cape Town taxi strike, of course, dealing a blow to some of the routes, and we understand that a skeleton staff had to operate and work at the venue. Are you still optimistic on your returns?
This is an estimate that was done by the city of Cape Town, and certainly by judging by the bars both in and around the city and of course at the Cape Town ICC, we definitely can say that the Netball World Cup is going to bring some great benefits for the city and of course for South Africa in general. So we are quite optimistic because we know that's what sporting events do. Sporting events actually make sure that people go and visit restaurants and they go experience other tourism attractions. So definitely we are comfortable about the benefit of this kind of sporting event and others on our country.
Do you think we'll at some point count the losses of the city of Cape Town taxi strike?
I am unable to answer that because I'm not sure what the value is of the taxi strike or the impact thereof at this point in time.
Okay, no, that's fine. With domestic tourism being considered the bedrock, essentially, of the tourism sector, what role do you think ordinary South Africans play in, of course, inspiring other people from other countries to continue to come to South Africa and see its beauty?
The beautiful thing that people have always said about South Africa when they come here is the warmth of our people. People are always pleasantly surprised by the warmth of our people. So South Africans play that very important role of being able to welcome people and being able to be the ambassadors and hosts that actually guide people through the various experiences here in South Africa. But of course, the more South Africans know about the country, the better it is for them to be able to receive visitors and for them to obviously appreciate the tourists that do come through. You know, recently we were voted the best country to visit in the world by UK's Telegraph readers. And one of the things, or one of the factors that actually landed us with that accolade was the fact that people were saying the service in South Africa is so great. And that service is obviously given by South Africans. So each and every South African definitely plays a role in bolstering our tourism.
According to Stats SA and looking at this outcome in 2021, the travel sector contributed 3.2% to South Africa's GDP, which surpassed agriculture and construction. How significant would you say is the impact of the domestic tourism on the current economic climate, also considering the dent that was dealt by COVID-19?
The very good news is that South Africans went on to explore their country, during the COVID-19 pandemic when, the borders were closed, and they've since continued to do so. Our current domestic numbers far exceed the 2019 levels, which means that South Africans are exploring their country more. South Africans are taking more frequent trips, and the impact on the economy is really great. We've seen triple-digit increases when it comes to, the value of domestic tourism on our economy. I know, of course, that a lot of South Africans have cited affordability as a consideration, and that's why South African tourism is going to have our short-left travel week come next month, which is also September, and it is tourism month. What we do during the short-left travel week is that we make sure that we put discounted packages for South Africans to take advantage of and for them to be able to travel across the country whenever they can, obviously as per terms and conditions. But this is our response to the fact that South Africans have said that affordability is a consideration, and to the fact that South Africans have expressed and indeed have shown us that they want to travel our country.
A short left, of course, an exciting event and week to look forward to. You speak about sizable packages. I mean, what are we looking at? What scope in terms of pricing? And, of course, what are some of the popular destinations?
So the scope in terms of pricing really varies depending on what it is, what experience, and obviously the duration, and obviously the province that the person would like to visit. But we know that discounts can be up to 50%. So a person can actually get up to 50% off on a deal. The popular destinations we know that are usually the big cities and the big provinces. But with Tourism Month, what we try and do is we encourage people to explore the lesser visited provinces and the lesser known experiences. That way we all get to traverse and travel our entire country, and in so doing we benefit our entire country and obviously contribute to our economy.
What are some of those relatively unknown destinations that people are starting to explore?
We know that, for instance, Mpumalanga is starting to be more and more popular, not just for the Kruger, but people are exploring other parts of the province. That has been a smaller province that has not necessarily been explored in great deal historically. We know that the Free State is also a smaller province, and we're trying to encourage people to actually visit those smaller provinces. There's clearance in the Free State. People can go hiking, and we know that hiking as an experience has become quite a popular activity for a lot of tourists, both domestically and internationally. We also know that we've got the Northern Cape that is rich in history and culture, and those are the experiences that we'd like more and more South Africans, and indeed people from all over the world, to go and visit and experience and explore.
We've spoken about the economic benefits of the tourism sector. What about the impact on fostering unity and diversity, and what that does for a nation such as ours?
I'm so glad that you asked that question. So yesterday, as I already indicated, we were with the Springboks captain, Siya Kolisi, at the Netball World Cup. It is amazing how each and every South African of different races and creeds actually reacts to Siya Kolisi as the captain of the rugby team. And that is just one example of how sports and, in fact, events can actually unify us as South Africans. Now, if you take that and you complement that with the fact that people actually travel to go watch different sports from, they travel to different provinces and different countries, and that is how tourism actually comes into play.
Very well. Let's perhaps leave it there for now. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us that overview of what can be expected as we go into Tourism Month. Of course, that is SA Tourism's Thandiwe Mathibela giving us that overview. Still to